Welcome back, Z-Freaks. In today's video, I'll be reviewing all 6 of the Power Pack deck, as well as showing you a way that you can upgrade them for a relatively low amount of spirit. So stay tuned, and I'll have that coming right up for you. Alright, so let's get into the video. So with the most recent patch that we had, Zenonzard introduced something called a Power Pack ticket. And this is an item that you can exchange for a pre-built deck from the Deckcodes store. Now, if you're familiar with the pre-built decks from the past, you probably assume that these aren't worth it because the pre-built decks previously were pretty bad. But it seems like the Zenonzard team has wised up and come up with something called formula cards. Now, a formula card is exactly the same as a regular card, except you can't break it for spirit. And you can't upgrade it to premium either, which is kind of crappy, but it is what it is. Now, making it so that these cards can't be broken for spirit to make other cards allows them to give out a higher amount of legends and epics in these pre-made decks, so they won't be entirely garbage. Now, before I review these decks, this is $4, so you will have to buy it, but I want to go ahead and answer the question that everyone's asking. Are these decks worth it? The short answer, yes, these decks are worth it. The long answer is also yes, if you were wondering what that was. Even if you choose the worst deck out of the 6, it's still worth the money. When this was revealed earlier, I thought that it was just $5 for just the deck. But it turns out it's just $4 for the deck, and you get 200 Z-Stones on top of that. Now, if you've been free to play up until now and you want to know the best way to use the Z-Stones that you get from this amazing deal, then check out the video in the info box in the top right. If you want to know what to do with the deck that you choose, then stay tuned. Now, to preface my review of these decks, if there's one that you wanted to pick that you had your eye on but I give it a bad review, I hope I don't dissuade you from purchasing it. It's your money, you can do whatever the hell you want with it. These reviews are just a second opinion or more for players who want to buy this but aren't sure which deck to choose. So let's get into it, and let's start with red first. So Power Pack Red contains a red aggro deck utilizing an Evoker engine and Diana. Diana is very aggressive. She spawned a beefy token with charge when she's summoned, so you can swing at your opponent's life immediately. And she also buffs your red and neutral minions with extra power and damage to make them more threatening. Diana is great for players that enjoy the strategy of going wide and buffing your smaller minions to overrun your opponent. The other legendary that you receive in this deck is 2 copies of Emily. Now, this cutie is an evoker, meaning she will conjure a minion and add it to your hand when you place it into your base. And she makes the Infernal Ring. Now, Infernal Ring is neat because it's a good card on its own, so you don't really need any other dwarf support. However, with the Sphinx Force rising in popularity, it's a bit difficult to get the most out of this minion now. So this deck has Evoker support, Monster support, Golem support, and it most likely uses the Kiron Force, which makes the red magic in this deck a lot more valuable. Now, to rate this deck out the box, I'll give it a 2 out of 5. That's a pretty low rating, I know. But red dominated the metagame a few formats ago, so I'm guessing that they're giving red a break now. Because it's not at the top like it used to be. But like I said, if you have your sights set on this deck, don't let my low rating talk you out of it. The game's all about fun, and the deck is definitely fun. So let me show you how I would upgrade this deck if this is the one that you decide to purchase. So to upgrade this, I dropped the monsters from the deck and focused more on token buffing and added a dragon package for Nova, who's still a powerhouse. This is one of the cards that I was talking about that dominated the format a few metagames ago. So yeah, the card is still good, and you need dragons to work with it, so just added a couple dragons in to make sure that you can get his effect off. Now, this will definitely need a little more tweaking, but I think that this is a good starting point, and probably takes around like 9,000 spirit from the original deck to get this, so that's not too bad. Now, on to the next one, Power Pack Yellow. This one is amazing. Bandai seems to be pushing Angela really hard. Angela is probably going to be the cornerstone of yellow decks for a long time. So if you're a fan of yellow and you want to play yellow, then this is definitely worth picking. Not only do you get 3 copies of one of the best yellow cards in a long time, Angela, you get 2 copies of another great yellow legendary. Kathleen can be used alongside Angela or by herself, so the flexibility of choosing this deck is also high. And this deck seems to have more epics than the red one, and better epics too. Solo Gusty Dragonblade is a great defensive option for yellow players, and you get Patrol as well, which is a nice cheap removal option. And you get 3 copies of one of the best 2-cost minions in the game. I know you've probably been wrecked by this guy before. And you also get 3 copies of Harai, who conjures some incredible spells. Now, out of the box, I'll give this one a 5 out of 5. Like, by the nature of the game, you can play this deck as is and rack up wins, because Kathleen can just steal games from out of nowhere. But upgrading your deck and getting even better results is also a great feeling as well. So now, yellow has a lot of good builds that you can make with this power pack. If you're interested in an Angela Kathleen build, or a 2-cost rush build, I do have some videos for those on my channel. I'll put one of them in the info box for you. But if you want a more recent angel build, then you can grab about 12,000 spirit and upgrade your deck to look like this. Now, if you've been opening a lot of glory packs and you pulled a couple of the angels from this list, then it's gonna be less than 12,000 spirit, which is good. Now, the angels from glory have a lot of synergy with Angela, and this is one of the strongest decks, so I don't think you can go wrong if you decide to play this deck and upgrade it to the Angel version. Next up is Power Pack White. This one focuses on the White Mask deck. If you play in the Heroic Masquerade meta, then you know that White Mask was behind blue and green in terms of the strength. But the deck is still mad fun, and Nems is super cool. And this comes with 2 copies of Nemesis 00, which is arguably the best White Mask card. It's got good stats, it's got a strong banish ability, and it's got some resistance to boot. Now, if you main white, this card is a great addition to your collection if you don't have it. And it also comes with 2 copies of Nemesis 99, the boss monster for this deck. If you can manage to morph into him, he can definitely take over the game. And lastly, it comes with 1 copy of Makura Mask of Bone. It's a small consistency booster, and it's a way to give a little bit of protection to your mask minion. This deck is a great pick if you play white decks and are looking to boost your collection, since it comes with 2 copies of Data Analysis and 2 copies of X-Cannon, which are some really easy to use white removal cards. They can go great in any white deck. There's not much else to say about this deck. Out of the box, I give it a 3 out of 5. You know, it's decent, and it's definitely fun for sure. But it's not, you know, spectacular like the yellow one that we just went over. This deck also has a lot of ways to upgrade it. You can check out the video in the info box where I show 3 different ways to use White Mask. Or if you're looking for something a little more recent, then you can add Nems Arise and your Nemesis boss monsters to a soldier deck, like shown here. This one has a lot of legends, but it's good fun. If you've pulled some of the soldier cards already, then you can go ahead and slot your White Mask cards into this and chop it up. It's a nice fun deck. Next up is Power Pack Green, which is the Green Mask deck. Green Mask is probably the best right now, so if you're a competitive player and you're looking to jump in with a strong deck, then this is the pick for you. Masked Ninja's Heavenly Quartet form is strong, and it has good stats and can even destroy minions, which is something that green doesn't do very often. It's also got 1 copy of Rita the Divine Shot, which is a neutral legend, which gives this deck even more value than the previous ones if you consider yourself competitive. Because you can use Rita in any deck with Phoenix, and the effect's always going to be good. And lastly is my boy Masked Ninja Pleiades form. This card is just plain amazing. If you open the dictionary and you look up boss monster, it's going to be a picture of this card right next to it. So, yeah, this card can just end game from out of nowhere, and it's just really hard to stop sometimes. This is a really nice deck. It's very well rounded from the jump, and I'm giving this one 5 out of 5 out of the box. If you want to upgrade this deck even further, go ahead and gather up about 10,000 spirit and head over to the info box to check out the Green Mask deck with the Tribal Engine. It's the best deck out right now, and you can't go wrong with that. So, next up is Power Pack Blue, which is a Blue Mask deck. Now, if you're new and you like blue, then go ahead and get this deck, enough said. Orleon, Ruler of the Waves, is this deck's boss monster. He has an AoE destruction ability, something blue just doesn't have, which gives this card a lot of value. And he can also one-turn kill your opponent with both eyes closed and a hand tied behind his back by firing off multiple attacks. The Royal Sea Dragon also has AoE destruction effects and can attack twice. And the deck also comes with Anju, which is super valuable. She's the only minion that can metamorphose into several different forms. This one also gets a 5 out of 5 out the box. There aren't many upgrades needed to make this deck really shine. You could probably upgrade this for about 12,000 spirit by adding additional Anju and Alex the Chosen Explorer. These upgrades are good investments too, because Anju and Alex can be used in a wide variety of decks, so even though you're using them to upgrade this, when you're ready to make another deck, you can easily include them in the next one you make. I also recommend adding Marine Assault to this deck. It's a card that works really well with mask minions, and in a deck like this, you can really do some crazy plays with that card. Last and unfortunately least is Power Pack Purple. Now, this must be the trick if the other 5 decks are a cheat. It's spooky how bad this deck looks. Now, I want to emphasize that I said how bad it looks and not how bad it is. It looks bad because it has Catherine as the legendary, and this card hasn't proven to be powerful at all since its release. And the other legend that you get is Belphegor, and while he is very powerful, his 8 costs makes him a little slow to come out, so you might not get to play him as much as you like. And you do get 1 copy of Pandoria, who is very useful in a deck that relies on base minions like this one, and you need a way to search them out. Out of the box, I'm going to rate this as a 1 out of 5. I am being a bit harsh, but I expected better value as far as being able to get stronger legends from purple, like Yami. But in all seriousness, if you had your eyes set on this, please don't let my review deter you from purchasing this. One thing about purple is that it specializes in things that will always be strong, removing your opponent's minions and gaining card advantage. No matter what card game you play, if you continue to remove your opponent's resources while gaining additional resources of your own, it'll come to a point where your opponent can't handle all of the options you have available, and you can push for a win off of that advantage. Since this game includes artificial intelligence, they can easily use these purple cards to create those kind of scenarios to win games, even with a deck like this right out the box. A great way to upgrade this deck is to adopt the purple Battle Spirits engine. Mai, Shikizuru, and Steinborg have proven to be strong cards, and they're still good. You want to use these cards to keep gaining card advantage, and remove your opponent's cards with your magic and minion abilities until your opponent can't defend against you anymore. It also uses the Sphinx Force to make it harder for your opponent to remove your minions. This deck is still very strong despite its low popularity. I also threw this purple Evoker deck together with Kiron if you're more interested in Catherine. Try to stay away from cards that wouldn't be used in very many decks like Rekindled, who I think would be amazing in here, but it might not be the best use of your spirit, so I stuck with cards that you can use in multiple purple decks when it comes to the spirit that I used to create this deck. This version is definitely going to need some tweaks, especially if you're going to focus on Catherine. This might be a good starting point if you really like Catherine and you were looking for a deck that could take advantage of her. So, I want to thank everyone for watching this video. Leave a comment letting me know which deck that you chose. And hit that like button as well. And if you aren't subscribed, then you know what to do. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the bell icon so you don't miss any more videos. And check out the info box as well as the videos on the screen for more Zenonzard content. And I'll see y'all Z Freaks in the next video. Later.